Check, baby, check, baby, check. 1, 2, audio check. Pedro and I will be with you shortly. Everybody, we'll be with you in just a moment. Welcome Crypto Mike to the show. We'll be with you guys shortly, just solving a small tech issue here. Good morning, everybody. Just getting started here. Give us a minute. Everybody, it's time to get this show started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live, wherever in the world you're coming to us from. Thanks for joining our show today. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media universe. So glad to be hosting another great episode of this show called, as it says over here in the corner, DYOR Live, with the man in the box here, Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. Sorry for the late start today. We got a little bit of a tech issues behind the scenes. It doesn't happen so much anymore, but it still does. Anyway, welcome to the show today. It's January 23rd, 2026. Having a little bit of a recovery today, having a little bit of a push up in Bitcoin up to 90,145. But the real story of the day is silver. Silver hits that triple digits for the first time ever, over $100 per troy ounce. Gold pushing 5,000. I don't know if gold actually hit 5,000 on my chart. It did not, but other people say it did. It's right on the edge. Reminds me of when Bitcoin hit at 100,000. Didn't hit it on my chart for 2 or 3 days, or 2 or 3 hours until after it hit on everyone else's charts, because the futures charts sometimes are not the same. Well, in fact, they're rarely the same as the spot chart. But welcome, everybody. Welcome, Pedro and I will talk about that a lot. Welcome, Crypto Mike in the house. Crypto Mike in the house all the way from Manitoba, where it's minus 600 million degrees right now. You're sending us that cold all the way over here to Ontario. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. The high pressure system is moving in here right now, so the cold is deepening, and then low pressure will swoop in and dump the snow on us. Yep. I don't know why we're not in Florida, Pedro. I don't know why we're not in Florida.
Honestly, if Connecticut does a law that they're talking about, I'm moving down to Connecticut. Or moving down to Florida.
Changing the income tax laws or capital gains tax laws or something?
No, something else. Something that I'm
not related.
Yeah, it's something just personal that I'm like...
I feel like all of crypto is moved. Like American crypto people have moved to Texas, Tennessee, Florida.
Either Texas or Florida.
Because of the lower capital gains tax. Lower or no capital gain. In fact, I think capital gains was made illegal in Texas for state income tax purposes. In Florida, it's very little to none.
It's not even that.
Right? And there's no income tax, stuff like that. Crypto Mike says it's only minus 37 with the wind chill. That doesn't count. Unless you have a house with thin walls, and then the convective nature of the heat being pulled off your house by the wind is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But minus 49 this weekend with the wind chill. Oh, that's going to be good, Mike. I think it's time to get the dogs out, do a little dog sledding, maybe head up north to Fort McMurray in Alberta or something like that. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show. Thanks for joining us this Friday. Got a good crowd already coming to us on both Rumble and X. Thanks for joining us. Remember, X viewers, if you can right-click on our, if you're on the desktop version, right-click on us and open up in a new window, and then you can keep surfing and all that type of stuff and doom scrolling, whatever you want. If you're watching on Rumble, on your big screen TV, let's see, where is this thing join?
Have you seen
Rumble? There's a QR code right here. Make sure you have an account. There's a lot of people that watch on their big screens that don't comment, don't have an account or anything like that, because that's not as easy to do on your big screen. Hold your cell phone up to this QR code right here, and you can join Rumble. You don't even have to use your email. You can use your Google or Facebook or Apple login. If you go to that QR code, click the sign in button and it'll lead you to the Google and Facebook and Apple ones, or you can create your own new account. But it helps us out when you do that, because you can like our stream, you can repost our stream, you can comment, you can do all that fun stuff. Anyway, thanks for your attention to the matter, as Mr. Trump would say. And the last piece of housekeeping, I didn't have my mic on properly yesterday. And I was using my webcam mic. And so I sounded like I was at a trash can instead of my lapel mic here. And you viewers got to tell me. Roland Rod piped up yesterday, about 3/4 into the show, saying, "Hey, Tom, something's amiss." And I'm looking like, "No, nothing's amiss." They went back and listened to it. Sure enough, it was amiss. You viewers, we rely on you. We rely on you. Anyway, Pedro, Bitcoin moving and grooving. I made a nice little trade. I saw this. My trading model showed up here today. And
I can't see it because the Rumble QR code is there.
I'm flipping to the other channel, or to the other screen. Just going slow. I saw my model develop about an hour ago. Price action came above the 1 minute 200 period moving average. Then it came above the 5 minute moving average. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this trade. But I did it differently today, Pedro. Instead of just buying Bitcoin futures outright, I bought a strategy call. And bought it at $8.35 for the one contract. Well, that was the price. It was the individual contract. The total amount was obviously a lot more. Did you die again?
Yep. So I don't understand why it's having issues, but it's literally every time I talk smack about China.
Yeah, but you got a new IP address now. They wouldn't know. It's happened as soon as you got your new IP address too. And you think I would have the same trouble too, but I don't.
So, anyways, it's looking like it's just. What I'm going to do is I'll reset it again, and then from there, I'm going to go through, and once I reset it, I'm gonna come in for about 5 minutes. It looks like it's only holding up for 5-10 minutes, and then then I'll do my analysis of BTC, and then I'll have to bounce because it's like I'm in the middle of a few trades here, and I got to be able to get in and get out.
Well, I was just telling you. I don't know if you heard me, but I instead of trading Bitcoin futures today, I traded strategy options, and I bought a call at about $8.45 and sold it at $11 today. Very nice payoff for that. I'll say. But it was because I saw my model. I haven't traded. I traded once the end of last week. Closed it out. No, I guess it was beginning of this week. Made a very small amount of money, but that was the point. It was testing the toehold in the water. And then today I saw the model develop and I took it. And it was a winning trade within the hour. So it was very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice thing to do. And played the options market. And thankfully on Robinhood, the costs for that are very low. The fees are extremely low. In fact, the cost of the trade really doesn't even factor into your equation. It's so low. So that was good. I like that. I made my Friday a little bit more liquid, as they say.
You can buy the good brandy.
Yeah, yes, I can go top shelf today, not bottom shelf.
All right, well, I'll be back in just a second.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pedro will be back in a minute. I'll bring up my screen here and talk about what I did today with my trade. I don't understand why it does that. I hit the button that says bring up the charts and the TV comes up. Don't understand. Don't understand at all. All right. Here is my show. Let me tell you how I made a little bit of money today. Here is the 1 minute chart here. Earlier around 10:45, my trading model, which I say it's my model, but it's just one of the ones I practice, I learned it from Sam Price, the crypto lifer. And it was one of the trading models that I started out just learning because it was easy for me to see and understand. It is very simply price action here. Price action comes above, the red line is the 200 period moving average, purple line is the 8 period moving average, and the orange line is the 21 period moving average. And I waited for the price, you can see over here, let's see if I can get myself bigger here. Here the price came up and rejected off the 200 period moving average. Didn't happen, I was like, okay, just watching it. Came up here, traveled along for it a little bit, brought the 8 period moving average up above it, and started doing this 8 period moving average. Was following it up. I said, oh, that's good. So it now brings the 21 period moving average up. And I said, all right. And a lot of times it's been a little shaky on the 1 minute. So I go to the next chart, which is my 5 minute chart. Where'd it go here? And you can see the same thing happened here on the 5 minute chart. The price came up above the 200 period moving average a little bit in the similar time frame. The 8 period came up here, and then the 21 period crossed above it here. I got in the market right about here when the 21 period came in, and bought a strategy call, went long, and rode it all the way up to here. And my price, God, I wish I would have held on to that. Would have made double the money. Anyway, I sold it right in here somewhere. I put in a limit order to sell it when my at 11 cents or $11 a contract, and so it did pretty well on that. It was a nice little trade for a low liquidity Friday. So I like that. That's what happens. The 200 period moving average, thanks to Sam Price for teaching me that one. Pedro, it sounds like you're back.
No, you're listening to my phone. I'm still working it.
All right, Pedro's still out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Crypto Mike, if that's cold here, I'd suggest going north. It'll be colder. Yes. Pedro needs a static IP. That's a good point. You know what? That's good. I run on static IPs here. I have my own subnet, both here and in Chicago. And in fact, I run them through Cloudflare too. So my DNS takes things through Cloudflare, which proxies them in case there's any buffoonery going on. All right, let's get rid of that music. Bring the yeahs in.
All right. Let's try this again.
Here, all right, Pedro, I'm gonna have your microphone off while you. Oh. All right, everybody. Pedro is back on right now. Let's bring his screen up here. Talk about Bitcoin before his internet connection dies again.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst in the house. Pedro, what's going on with Bitcoin today? Oh, no audio. Oh.
Okay. When you look at what we've done here so far this week, we came down, we bounced off of the 100-day period weekly moving average. You can see we bounced off it good. We came above the 8 period moving average, and we're sitting above this, which is a good sign of a continuation up. If we finish off this way, if we can finish green, if we come up here to this higher level of the 8 and potentially the 20 period right here, and then I see it sell off into next week, right? At the beginning of the week, like we saw here, this is a good sign saying we should continue up. Now, the key point here, though, is this. You've got to come in with real volume. And we're coming into the weekend, so I don't know if we're going to be able to push it through it. But if we can come in with real volume, okay, and come up and hit this area here, That's going to be a good sign because I want to see us close above that 8. And if we could finish green, even if it's just a little green, that's a giant weekly dragonfly, or not dragonfly, hammer. Boom, came down, bounce, pushes up. Looks something like this, but more stronger. And if we can
A
close
hammer?
above. Yeah, I know hammers are normally down here, but the actual candle itself.
No, I've never even heard that term before, and I like it.
Yeah, it's called a hammer.
Big handle, big thing on top.
Let me
like
finish
Thor.
because I don't know how long this is going to take. So
Go ahead,
please
Pedro.
give me a second. So I want to see it close above in these higher levels at 91, 92,000, which give me a better sign that it wants to continue higher. Into next week on Monday, or Sunday and Monday, if we see it come down first into these low levels, don't freak out. That's a good sign of saying, hey, look, it's going down first at the beginning of the week. We're going to most likely see it go up at the end of the week. So you can see here so that's the weekly. On the daily, I want to see it come up and close somewhere up at that 92, 91 area here with higher volume than what we saw on Wednesday. So that's what I'm looking for here. Now, most importantly, we have a 8 and 20 crossover, which typically means that we're going to see the market continue down. But the key point is on the weekly chart, we're showing some bullishness because we're bouncing off of that off that 100-day period moving average. So it's a good sign that we're potentially could be going up. Also, right, like we've talked about how this month we did not put in a demand wick. We actually did put in a smaller wick down here when we did sell off here. So that's a decent amount of wick that we saw for the month. I mean, actually, it's a baby wick. But the reality is I want to see this. If I'm okay with that, as long as we continue with higher volume. And if you look at the month, we're starting to show strength higher than December, which doesn't take much of a big push, but because typically December is smaller volume, January should be bigger volume. So we want to see the end of next week. We want to see at least November volume. Okay, at least that. So this next week, we got to see some big volume coming in. So this is where I'm almost expecting it to see on the weekly chart come in, finish off, come down first, and then go higher. Right? That's my fingers crossed. Hopefully, good scenario. And then if it does do that, we see it come down. It should blow through the daily 8 and 20 cross, and we should see catch up to this 100 day or to this 100 period moving average. Then again, see it sell off at the beginning of the month, go back up at the end of the month. That's what we're looking for. That's in a nutshell. Okay, boom. Tom.
All right, Pedro. Well, your internet connection is stable. While we got you, let's talk silver. Let's talk silver. Big records in silver. Big stuff going on in the silver market. It's at 101,425 now. I mean, come on, man. And it looks like it's going to pop off even higher here.
I mean, like I said, I kind of expected it yesterday, right? I thought we were going to hit that 100, but sure enough, today we hit it. Now, the biggest thing that I'm concerned about today, and everybody knows what I'm going to be talking about, is what? That demand wick.
Demand wick, right?
Yeah, no demand wick, exactly. So this is potential, like I talked about, us hitting that $100 mark and then seeing a sell-off, right? I think they're going to sell it off because they didn't put any demand wick there, which is a big deal. We're not seeing a ton of volume coming in today, right? Like we can see volume dropping off as we're continuing higher. Okay, so this is a huge indication that most likely we're going to see a sell-off back down to that 86 mark that I was talking about here. So just be ready. Now, the other thing you want to be paying attention, I'm going to post this too here real quick. I think this, it could potentially also come down to that 83. So 86, 83 mark here is kind of like the levels that I'm looking at. If it does sell off, again, we're watching it really play here as it goes higher. Now, again, we want to see if it's going to sell off here at these levels. What are we going to be looking for? We're going to be looking for seller wicks on the higher time frames stepping in, right? And so as we're coming in, seller wick, they're small as we're coming up. So you can see here, like I talked about, we saw demand wicks at this level here. So those demand wicks are indication that they want to push this thing higher. right? So with that, I want to see if we're going to see it. I see a up and then a drop here. I want to see seller wicks like this coming in, right? You can see seller wicks. Not so much here because they were going to push it up, but right here we see seller wicks coming in as well. Okay, boom, you see the seller wicks coming in, which means that they were trying to drop it to pick up liquidity down at this level here. So for me right now, I'm looking to see, are they looking to put in topping patterns on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, right? That's what I'm looking for. And so you can see here, similar situation when I was talking about, boom, seller wicks as we're pushing up made us go down, right? That's what I'm looking at. So if you're looking to take this, potentially you want to capture this down at this level, 90, 80, 86, 83. Now that's like a 20% retracement. Just so I want to add that from the highs of where we're at to the sell-off. That will then trigger 20% sell-off. Let's buy more by institutions, right? So again, be paying attention. We're watching volume as we're pushing up here go down, right? You can see that as we're moving up, great. But right here, this last little bit from 80 to 100, which is basically a 80 and 20 points. That's 25% increase, literally over since the 18th, right?
It's amazing.
So, right, that's another 25% since what is that? 2 weeks or a week? Actually, a week. Wow. So. These are moves that you want to be mindful of, right? This looks literally, let's look at the weekly chart. What does this look like? What type of chart does this look like?
That looks like a Bitcoin chart in 2017 and 2020. That's
right.
Looks like a meme coin chart.
It's like a meme coin chart. It's exactly. And this is one of the most wanted and desirable commodity in the world right now, because of what's happening with AI and with everything. So just be mindful that you guys don't get caught off guard here, okay? Like I said, I like 86, I like 83, also this lower level here of that 69 area as well, right? You can see it go up and come down. I don't think we're gonna see this thing bottom out down here back at like 35, 30, or 47. I think those days are done when it comes to this, just because of what AI and what's actually happening there. But I do expect this thing to come down. And so that's why I'm looking at these lower levels of that 69, 87. But we are not going to get out of this trade. Remember, we talked about this trade back in 2023. We've talked about it in 2024, right? Because we talked about the gold and silver ratio, right? We talked about this in July of or early we talked about silver going up along with gold when Trump inauguration trade. Remember, we talked about that. I said it could get to 100, right, by the end of the year, but I looked more at like the 60 mark. It's like the $60-$70 mark, and then we had to reevaluate it to go all the way up, because I didn't think it would literally do a 5x, but it did. It absolutely did. And so now we're watching it even continue higher. Now the key point is this also is gold and silver are acting in tandem, right? We see them both working in these spots. So if we start to see a sell-off in gold as well, expect the same, okay? What are we looking for? We're looking for seller wicks. Those are the top wicks, and we're looking for it on the 1 hour, 30 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and we want to see it consecutively. Right, that's the key, right? Where we're watching as it goes up, you can see seller wicks being established, and then once we start to see the 8 and 20 cross like this, and we see it, boom, that's when you know this thing is going to move down. But as of right now, it's not.
But man, look at that. The Pax Gold price is $5,001.29. Amazing that those even kind of numbers, silver moving into triple digits at 100, gold moving into $5,000, happening pretty much at the same time. It's kind of hard to believe in coincidences there, Pedro. Kind of hard to believe in coincidences. Earlier, I asked you what your thoughts about who may possibly be taking massive deliveries of gold and silver. from the COMEX, which is not normal, not normal at all. Most 99% of all contracts are just speculation contracts that open and close each contract period. But for the past 15 months, an organization of unknown has been buying billions of dollars worth of silver and gold and selecting for delivery and taking delivery of them. I think it was like 850 million ounces of silver off the market or something crazy. I may have that number wrong. I don't remember.
No, I understand,
exactly.
but we understand they're taking a lot of silver off the market, which, i.e., again, sounds a little bit like companies or a nation that I keep mentioning, but
or we saw on X the other day someone comment about silver prices going so high and talking about silver mining being it's slow to get spun up, and that person was Elon Musk. And Elon has been pretty good at seeing things in advance. It's entirely possible that he's also behind buying all of this stuff to guarantee that he has silver for industrial processes. Because in that note, I was listening to someone talk about how the prices of gold and silver, this was their opinion, can't really go much higher right now because the industrial base can't afford it. Yeah. The price right now, they've built into their manufacturing thing, and silver has been fairly steady for a long time. All of a sudden, their prices from last year to this year are 5x in silver. Oh, there goes Pedro. All of a sudden, their prices go 5x, and they can't afford it. They can't afford it. That doesn't mean silver won't go up more over the long term.
Yeah.
Because as long as companies can predict it, they can build it into their supply chain. But right now, the supply chain is creaking because of these prices, and that does act as a inhibitor of price. So long that the nation states of the world don't just go on a buying spree, which is also entirely possible. But the nation states do know, that the one that seems to be messing with your internet connection, our nation state, and then other ones, they know that their industrial supply chain is really important. And they can't just buy all they want, push the price up another 5x, and have their electronics industry survive. Just doesn't work that way. You can't just push all of these costs onto consumers, because consumers they don't buy products based on what the manufacturers tell them the price is. We buy things based on what we can afford and what we value something at. And if the price goes up too high, we don't value it. And so they can't just push this on us. In the government economists know this and that type of stuff. So, but it's really interesting, Pedro. It's interesting to see the market dynamics at work, and it's also interesting to note that TD Bank is massively. They're short from $40 on the COMEX and silver. I just watched a video about that today. I'm like, woo! And they got stopped out in the 90s. I'm like, someone's getting fired.
Well, it's interesting because TD Bank is a good bank, right? Like, I think they've always played pretty secure in a lot of their stuff. But this, I actually heard that if they go, because here's the thing, banks do go belly up, and big banks. Let us not forget Wachovia. Let us not forget AGI, right? Like Silvergate,
Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley.
Like these things are juggernauts. So the fact is that if they go belly up, that would start, I think, a TD, because TD is, how long have they been on for? Almost 100 plus years. They started up in Canada, right?
Yeah, it stands for Toronto Dominion Bank. TD.
Yeah, it's like, it would be, I think it would be a huge indication. I think if they do go, and here's the thing, how far are they going to be able to manage that risk? Because right now, if this thing continues higher, if we see silver continue higher, that could crash. That I think that could crash everything. I think very much so. And if you're a nation state that wants to see a drop in the American culture, then I would expect to see a major point where you would watch whatever situation. And I also want to add this. The nation that holds the majority of the silver around the world is, guess who? The guys over across the pond, right? And so us watching silver do dramatic jumps like we've seen has increased their portfolio dramatically. And so they're starting to become very wealthy, right? And because they hold so much of the commodity, and because they hold so much of that commodity, they can literally say, we're going to let X out or X in based off of that commodity. And because of that, that allows them to hold a stronghold on the world and do it in a way where it's like at any point in time. And now that now that silver is at this point, it is a struggle, because what are the two things that America and that country are fighting against each other for? AI, quantum computing, right?
Yep.
And these are some of the most and silver is one of the most primary fundamental materials. So I think it's something to be really paying attention to.
Yeah, the guy I was watching talked about TD Bank, because they were able to figure out that those were naked sells, that they didn't have a hedging position. And whereas a lot of other banks, he said, you could see either from talking to various traders or figuring out from the official positions that they put out or information they put out, that other banks were short too, but they had bought a lot on the spot market to essentially hedge what they were doing. But TD didn't, and it looks like they're going to get hammered. And we've seen a lot of these banks fail over time because one big mistake smokes them, because they were taking too much risk over time, and it was managed well, and then when interest rates went up, you remember, boom, they got hammered because banks were selling their interest rate swaps when interest rates were low, and they said, okay, we don't need interest rate insurance now with interest rate swaps. And then interest rates went up, and they got hammered, and that's what took down Silicon Valley Bank. And just like TD, if they have more exposure to this, if they have a subsidiary that's trading, or they're trading through another brokerage or something like that, and they have unreported exposure there, you could see JP Morgan owning TD Bank next week.
And they would swoop up and buy them at such a discount. Such a discount. They
essentially
would
the shareholders would be wiped out.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because TD Bank they've always played fairly smart. They're Canadians, say, like, I mean, just right, like, right. And yes, at $40, I think that was a smart play to take the short. But once it hit 50, why are you holding that short? Now you're 25%. That's a major push. And so how are you going to deleverage this? You don't have the political prowessness. I mean, Canada isn't necessarily a juggernaut when it comes to doing silver. You're not, I mean, am I wrong? I mean, you're not a net exporter of silver. So it's not like we can't even mine enough for ourselves to use here in Canada, because we just can't open mines. We keep talking about opening the mines in the Ring of Fire in the northern part of Ontario. But before we do that, it requires building a road there and a new railroad and stuff. And even just building a railroad, that's permitting, even when everybody wants it. They're like, whoa, it's going to take 5 years for public comments, and then we have to consult with all these indigenous people that live there to make sure the polar bears aren't moved 10 feet to the side. All right, Mrs. Striking was just leaving. And it takes too long. So Canada should be a net exporter of silver because as we know, silver is only,
I think yesterday I had the statistics wrong, but 80% of silver is a byproduct of gold mining, copper mining, lead, and zinc mining.
Zinc. Zinc.
And I think zinc is the big one for it.
Yep.
And for a while, the people would be, they'd be going for gold and these other things, and they get silver, and they'd be like, it's going to cost us a lot to refine that, so they just leave it in its ore state and not even do anything with it. I found that very interesting. But now they're going back to those piles.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Bob, did you keep that giant, massive pile of dirt that we had over there?
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, you sold it for fertilizer? Oh, okay. How much did you get for it? Oh, free. They could just haul it away. Oh, okay. Thanks, bye. You're fired.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not even, but I don't even if they could, every politician is paid off by a certain entity in that organization. So, and they're the ones who are really, even if all the people said, we want this to happen, there's no politician that will allow it, because literally half of them are, and you've talked about this multiple times, are, in somebody's pocket.
Right.
So, and they are the ones who literally are right now dictating this price increase by silver. So real interesting. I'm gonna play a pause on this real quick. I'm gonna step and see if I can reset this again, and then I will talk to you in a second.
Turn the intro stuff off there. All right, everybody, let's take a quick break to talk to the old audience here. Thanks for joining us, everybody, today. Really appreciate it. We've got a good crowd over on... hold on a sec, everyone. Sorry about that. Got a good crowd today on Rumble. A good crowd today on X. Thanks for everyone that's joining us this Friday. Even have some viewers on YouTube today, which is not been normal lately. I did listen to another streamer today talking about how they're struggling to grow their YouTube crypto channel. And I pointed out to them that the YouTube has been including the predictive markets like Polymarket, Kalshi, and Myriad and stuff like that in with gambling. And they derate gambling. Why? I don't know. It would be a boon to their advertising. And they derate gambling, and so crypto is getting, if we even mention things like that, and with Pedro and I have already got our channel hammered on YouTube, so it doesn't matter if we mention them or not. But they will, not put you in the algorithm. And most people rely on the YouTube algorithm to get their YouTube views. But no, hammered, as they say. Anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still basking in the glory of my trade. That's silver. Let's look at the month, how we're doing for the month here. This box here is the month. And it turns out January is one of those 4 full weeks of trading. And then a couple of days at the beginning. So we really have we have 8 full trading days left, and essentially an extra week. The first 7 days we went up. Am I hearing Pedro in the background there? He's coming. It's coming, Pedro. The first couple of days of January saw it come up, so we said, all right, it's coming up. It's going to finish the month down, and Pedro, I drew this arrow all the way down to the 74 area because we've been talking about it heading down there at some point. Might as well just draw it in there. Anyway, so we went up the first week. I said, if it's going to go up the first week, it's going to come down the second week. Exactly what happened in the second week of the trading scheme. And that means in the third week, if we're going to see a big dump in the fourth week, which actually this should be the fifth week next week. It would go up before that, and that's also exactly what happened here. Came up in this time period here, and then actually started taking I have the arrow up here. It started taking this downturn on the 20th, kind of late on the 19th and 20th. This arrow technically starts on the 21st. So we see the pattern working out for the month of January for Bitcoin. And I have Pax Gold up there while we're talking about that. Oops. You can see the 24-hour volume here. Volume's actually low. It's at $40 billion. $40 billion. The 24-hour low, 88.6, and 90.6 thousand. The high, 40 billion low. It's Friday. Not a lot going on today. Lower liquidity. It's normally lower liquidity on Friday anyway. Unless there's a news driver. I believe Mr. Trump is taking the day off after his travels to Europe, and so he's been quiet today. Means that markets have not been moving based on his tweets. The news channels have been quiet talking about that. There's been no U.S. versus Canada humdrum on this, except the U.S. kicking Canada out of the restoration of Gaza into basically Dubai. I found that to be pretty interesting. All right, we'll shy away. Space Cat, if you're listening, we'll shy away from the politics and stick to the facts, as we say. Let's see, who do we got here commenting here? Crypto Mike, Kanukistan and Trumpistan. I heard someone call the U.S. Trumpistan, because I call Canada Kanukistan, because it has a similar environment to Kazakhstan as far as the weather. Kanukistan. And then I heard someone call the U.S. Trumpistan, and I was like, okay, I'll go with that too. Anyway, welcome everybody to the show. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, chat. Just do it. We're live here. We have live viewers. It's up to you guys to interact with Pedro and I, because that's how we like to do our show. We're not one of those botted shows that pre-records their live crypto show an hour, days in advance or the previous day, and then bots up their views, ruining our whole category. We rely on all of you to interact with us, and so please do so. It's Friday. The Friday show is usually a little bit more loose as far as the schedule and what we're talking about. Put a cool pic in the TG about defense spending. All right, let's go find. You know what, Mike? There is actually a way, a URL link in which I can send to you. Or it's for the public, and you can submit things. I can just bring them right up on the screen. I gotta figure out how to do that. All right, let's look at the DYOR room here. Let's see, let's do save as. Let's see if we can bring this up. Oh, this is a good article about Putin. But anyway, we won't talk about that now. Let me find this picture from Mike here. Taking forever. Thank you, computer. Oh, just not gonna work. Okay. We'll worry about that later. If I can't get Windows File Explorer to open, then we're screwed. There we go. All right. What do we got here, Mike? Department of Defense. The budget, $955 billion. I think that must be the 2025 budget, because Trump requested 1.5 trillion. Per citizen, only $2,800. That's actually amazing. Department of Defense has 3 million employees. That includes soldiers. That includes logistics people. That includes the staff at the Pentagon. The Army budget, $226 billion. That's amazing. I've never seen it broken down like this. Thanks for sending this. I appreciate it. Space Command, it's only 22 million. Is that what that says? That can't be right. I mean, Space Command hires SpaceX for more money than that. I can't really see the other. I'll have to go to the. Can't see what the rest of it says here. Let's see if we can see it now. Hey, where'd my music go? Is this thing dead? Check. 1 2 1 2. Is this dead? I can't seem to hear. Sorry, Pedro. My headphones died, and I can hear you clearly. All right, Pedro, your mic is live once again. I'm just finishing up the Department of Defense budget thing that Crypto Mike sent us in. Very interesting numbers there, Mike. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Nice. That's actually really cool. Where did you get that off of? The Debt Clock app?
There we go. I fixed my head.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, he said he downloaded the app for it, and that must be what that's from. Let us know, Mike. Let us know how you got that. You guys put $1 billion just into AI. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. In fact, Mike, at one point, NVIDIA wasn't telling anybody who their two largest customers were buying all of their chips. And it was undoubtedly the U.S. government were both. With the civilian side, like, the whichever Department of Energy or whomever, and the other side had to have been the military. They just had to have been buying as much as they could. Yes, it was the Debt Clock app. The Debt Clock app.
That's a good one.
I had to buy it, but it's fun.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it because you can, like I say, that clock really, you just start to look up what it's about. Like look up, now I can't think about the actual things I want to say here. Oh snaps! I'm using my trading app. Boom. Let's go ahead.
What is the trade of the day for you, Pedro? If you don't mind.
Oh, it's definitely been gold.
Oh,
Definitely been gold. That's for sure. When we pulled back, it just gave me an opportunity to get into it, and so I was able to get in on it. It basically so 8 o'clock we saw it come down, and it hit the 50 period moving average, and it was sitting there, and we started seeing it show support on that 55 minute. And as we were coming into it, the 1 hour was starting to show some strength. We closed at above the 8 period on the 30 minute. So I sat there and said, all right, this thing should continue higher. I mean, we're so close to 5,000. I was like, there's no way they're not going to hit that today. There's just, or they might get 2 or 3 ticks away from it and then sell it off. But either way, like, they're not going to attempt to try to get there. And I was like, yeah, I'm going for it. So that was a nice little trade for me. Cannot complain.
Good.
It was
There's
kind of
nothing better than having a good trade on Friday, though. Your week's finishing. You're like, yes.
Yes, you're so right. Yes, absolutely. There's nothing better than when you all of a sudden just nail a trade, and especially like you said on Friday, because I mean, I trade multiple times, like 5 or 6 trades, and And watching the ES today, in the morning, watching it climb, I was like, which one has the most potential to give me the most bang for my buck? Because the S&P 500, we finished up at that 8-period moving average, and it's moving. I mean, it's 80, it's 86 points at $50 a point per contract. So like, I sat there and then I looked at the ATR on gold, and the ATR on gold was roughly 91 points. And I sat there and I said, well, we're just starting to go green. We were coming red around that level. We'd gone green and for the day, and then we came back down on the 50 period, which was a pullback for the morning.
Just so you know, we are only seeing the columns, and we're not seeing any charts for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Welcome, the Chief Chad from San Francisco. That would be none other than Jesus, the car dealer of the world, selling the rice burners to all the kids in the San Francisco area. And it's Happy Friday, as he says.
Friday.
Warriors, come out and play. And Crypto Mike says, Pedro for the W. Pedro takes the win. Tom takes the win today, too. I had a successful trade, one of my better trades of the year, because it's only my second one.
So,
Jesus has got the deals. Come on by, San Francisco peoples.
So, here's the trade, right? I'm not silver. It's like, wait, that looks like it, but it's not. There you are. Right here, around 8:30, is when we saw the sell-off, because the market opens at 8:20. You can see right here, we have the sell-off. We come down. We start to play off of this lower level here of that 50-period moving average. They're tapping in over here, and I said, okay, well, this is going to continue higher. I expected to literally see some support coming in, and so sure enough, we started to see some support. I saw volume coming out, but we were closing above the higher moving, or we were closing above the moving averages. So I said, you know what, I'm going to wait. And so I got in right here with a couple contracts. Boom, we saw it come up, we saw it come down on the open, right? We see it then play off of here. Now this open is the S&P 500 open, but it's not like it's not the open of gold. Gold open is at 820 if anybody is a trader, and you really don't start seeing
8:20 Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern time. Yeah, Eastern time. And so when you see it, you kind of wait till 8:30, because that's when really the volume starts to step in and it starts to really get going. And so you kind of watch it to see it pregame, even though it's like they're special teams are in. Boom, they come in, they put in. This right here is really significant because it shows that the 50 is on. It respected it. And then I saw the market come in, come down, boom, push up, and I said the volume wasn't that bad, and then we closed here. And so when I saw that the respection on this area right here, I said, well, I know that my area right here it's very small. We're talking 3 points, right? And so I said, all right, let me get in. You saw it come down. I got in here, boom, and then it basically just continued up. This right here was I was waiting for. I said, if it doesn't hold off that 50 period, right, and I start to see it come down towards my stop, not my stop, but my entry right here, I was gonna get out. So I said, boom. So, but you can see it came down, and we saw it come up, the close right here, and I said, all right, that thing's off to the races. We're going higher. And sure enough, boom, 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 boom. And so then once we closed around here, once we closed above that 8-period moving average right here, that's why it was early to us. You could see here we had this going. So I said, all right, cool. And then I got out, and we'll see what's up. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they're going to hit that 5,000. I knew we were going to try to get close to it. And then like all these people here, all these poor people here, like got in thinking we're going to hit 5,000. And all of a sudden the seller week starts stepping in, right? Boom. It was like, dang, bro.
Well, I think the black SUV started lining up outside the offices to take people from Manhattan out to the Hamptons for the weekend with all their gold profits, and then you're seeing the result of that right here. It's Friday afternoon. The markets are going to close. What time does gold close?
I think it's 12:30. I don't know, man. I honestly, because the market still moves, so it's like, if it's once it's in that trend, like, I mean, this closed at 1600 at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but the actual gold market closes, I think, at maybe 2. Well, I don't know if it's 12 or 2.
It's not 12.
What is
because I remember the closing cycles in my head, and when gold closed, the noise that would erupt from the trading pit would be outrageous. Just because people were like, all right, I got to get rid of it. I got to close this contract on the close. It was good. I had a good all day, but I need to get out of it. And they'd unwind contracts, and and all of a sudden the bell would ring, and it would be quiet, and then that was it. Bye-bye. See you.
What is the close of gold pit close? Oh, that didn't make sense. Hopefully I'll be able to. But I think what's interesting, gold pit session on COMEX closes 1:30. Yeah, 1:30. Eastern Standard Time. That part is clear and well defined across multiple sources. Yes. But yeah, that's I think that's one of those things that the market. Sorry, I just had to rip that out because I think it was bothering me. Hey, bad. I gotta rip that all out. It's just bothering me.
Anyway, it was fun watching the gold close. Every once in a while, if the gold market was really busy, because our market didn't close till 4 or 3:30, the booth that I worked in most of the time, the floor manager, his name was Hank, he'd be like, all right, we'd have to go pitch in at the other booths when they closed in case there was an overwhelming deluge of orders. And that happened pretty frequently in the gold markets, where the people were getting out. And then it was really amazing. And I do, while I don't miss working on the trading floor because it was exhausting, I do miss the excitement of that. And when it would close and it was just frenzy of activity, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and then bring, and then it's like, all right, Jim, see you later. All right, Tom, see you, bye. It's like the cartoon with the coyote and the sheepdog. And they just see each other in the break room, and they're like, hey, how's it going? Yeah. And then they go on the clock, and they're like, and then the clock, boop. And then they're back, and hey, all right, hey, Jim, see you later. All right, bye. But in between those times, it was frantic, especially on the open and the close. Jesus says, looking at the PAX-G chart right now, and just a year ago, it was 27.54. That's wild. Yeah, gold's up. Gold is up. Crypto Mike says, did Binance once offer stock trading? Because Watcher Guru says they're considering bringing back stock trading. I think they've offered it in some overseas locations. They've never did it in the U.S. Binance USA never. I mean, perhaps they tried it before they had to create Binance US, but that was a long time ago. I don't know the proper answer to that. I just know that my Binance account, Binance US account, is never able to trade. Yeah, I thought the auction was wild. That shit must be crazy, Tom. Yeah, car auctions can get wild, but the trading floors were crazy. And that was, and gold was a big trading pit, but the crude oil was bigger. And then out in Chicago, the trading, like the Eurodollar and the trading pits like those were massive, and they would go absolutely bad. I remember one time I was on Chicago Mercantile Exchange floor, and And it felt like home because it was just like the New York one where I worked for many years, just much bigger and a lot more people. And when I guess it was the euro dollar or maybe an interest rate swap thing closed, it made the gold pit sound like kindergarten. I was like, oh, Jesus, that's loud. and one of my company I was working for, I should say, substituting for someone for. I said, is that like that every day? And they're like, no, that's average. It can get a lot worse. I was like, wow, that's loud. And all gone because someone wrote a GitHub to have a market book matching machine, and then boop, everyone switched. And that was it for them. More trading floors. Bitcoin's still hanging in there. It's flagging out there on the 5-minute chart. I thought this Friday afternoon it was going to come back down also, but it's hanging in there.
I would agree. Any news? I mean, a lot of stuff actually happening from a news source. I mean, looks like we're going to be getting Greenland. Well,
it's they've spun that one a little bit. Especially the guys on Rumble saying how Trump wins, we're getting Greenland, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
All they did was agree to a framework for discussions, and the discussions were the goal of the U.S. having a larger influence. And Greenland all along is saying you can have as much influence as you want. All you gotta do is lease our land. There's tons of ice for you to lease up there. You pay us a lease. We'll build you a road, we'll build you a railroad there, whatever as long as you pay us. And so I think that's where they're starting. It's like, how much is this gonna cost?
Or what? Yeah, this thing's coming back. They're gonna close this thing higher. I think this next rally should be hit the 5,000 mark here.
You think they're gonna go higher on the close?
I think they're gonna push it to 5. Absolutely, that's what it's looking like. Absolutely. Can't believe, man, these moves are so big. Dude, if this thing doubles again and we get a 10,000, here's the part that I think is crazy. America has the most gold by far, almost double than than China and any other company or any other country out there. I mean, we have so much gold, it's ridiculous, right? Never really sold it after, World War II, and we kind of kept all that. But what I think is interesting, if this thing, like Trump was talking about resizing everything, right? And I said, for us to have a sizable change on gold, if gold went to 20 to 25,000, that would be a major, I think that's $10 trillion worth of gold. I think that we would have, actually give me a second, if Trump
all right, Pedro, I took a demo trade in micro gold futures at 5,020 is the price on Robinhood. Let me rephrase that. Not a demo trade, but a theoretical trade. In other words, I didn't really trade it, but I'm saying I did just to participate in the close of markets.
Yeah, if Trump replaced.
I was gonna put a closing trade in, but it said you haven't updated your compliance terms and conditions for the micro futures, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that now. Screw that.
If Trump
SFC.
gold.
Jesus says, my Inca ancestors had all the gold. Yeah, until the Spanish came and stole it all, and now it's all at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean. Or in museums in North America.
But also, you don't forget, right, that during That it wasn't it, right? Like Spanish, weren't they bombed hard? And during World War II.
Spain? No, not so much. I mean, they backed out. Franco backed out of it and said, not Franco, who was their leader in the whatever. And during the war, they said, we're not going to mess with the Nazis, and stayed out of that shit. Maybe in their civil war that happened a little while later when they deposed Franco. Maybe
that's what it was. I forget what it was, but whatever happened, I thought their gold got transferred. I almost felt like somehow it got transferred to America because of something. I forget. I was reading this thing, and they were talking about how like America basically stole Spain's gold. I never really fully like searched it out. So I'm this is like conspiracy theory here. But like America basically after World War II went through and we helped rebuild Europe and everything. We basically just robbed Europe and everybody else because they had to pay us in gold.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I mean, I don't think that's a conspiracy theory because that's in essence part of our foreign policy is, you got to pay. There's, like Germany, we made them pay after World War I. We made them pay after World War II. We're going to make Russia pay after the Russia-Ukraine war. If the Gazans could pay, they would be made to pay, but instead we're just going to take their land and build New Dubai on it. You're right, Crypto Mike, or that gold was lost in their civil war.
Yeah, actually, not even. I thought it was 10 trillion. It would only be 5 trillion.
Jesus, I've not followed the not just the CMC index, but the various new indexes coming out. Just because we have just not been very favorable about altcoins, and obviously the index. I don't know how the CMC one is weighted. If it's just weighted by. If it's an equal amount for everything, or if it's based on market cap. If it's based on market cap, then obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum would dominate. But Pedro and I, we talk about altcoins a lot. But as you know, for the past year, all the altcoins have just been getting brutalized. I think the word is sodomized. Brutalized.
Sodomized, dang.
Some people say, what if the Spanish never came? We would be kings. And I'm like, yeah, what if they didn't come and now you're going to get sacrificed? It's a very good point. While they did some bad things, they did some good things, like stop burning children on fire, sacrificing them to the gods. Whichever guy thought of that first, had to have been a guy, thought of that first, like way 20,000 years ago. It's like, lots of thunder and sky. Why don't we burn this young woman here to make gods happy? Good plan there, jerk. Good plan. Oh, okay, that's good. Hey, the clouds moved and now it's blue sky. Let's do that again.
Well, I think what's interesting is like every culture around the world did it. I mean, you had the Canaanites that did it. You had partially the Egyptians that did it. It was weird. Like it wasn't something that was just localized to the Aztecans. It was something that was broad throughout the world. So I find that very interesting. Like when you look at the practice of like child sacrifice, absolutely atrocious. I mean, and the way like with the Canaanites, man, they would go through Moloch and burn the child, like in his hands. It was absolutely horrible. Like you
just can't believe you can't. And all of these people that led those groups were held up as the smart people that guide us, that are they just know everything. The priests, they're in touch with gods. We don't want to offend them, and they didn't know shit. They just made that shit up. or someone did, and like Jim made it up early 20,000 years ago. It's like, let's burn kids. All right, well, sounds good to me. All right. And then it spread. It must have spread as the population of the world, spread around the world and went away for a long time. And then someone uncovers a book. Hey, Jim, look at this. They burn kids. Let's try that. Good. Religion. Bad ideas never really go away, Pedro. That's the problem. They was high as shit. Yeah, that's probably a good point there, Jesus. That is probably a good point. Wake up the next morning as, hey, have you seen my daughter? Oh, you don't remember last night, man? Woo! It was rough. The gods are happy. It was high as shit. Oh, Pedro, how's that? We got 5 minutes to the close here.
It's looking strong, man. I mean, the fact is that when you look at the 5 minute, look at PAX G. Give me a second so I can show it. Was it PAX G? I always forget. What is it? What's the acronym for PAX G?
PAX G. PAX-G.
That's what it is. PAX G.
Yeah, well, look at that. I took my theoretical trade at the 520, just popped 522 on the micro gold futures. Let's see this thing. If this thing closes at 50-30 or something like that, I'm gonna be angry that I had to do more compliance.
When you're looking at this here real quick to see, you can see here that this sell-off, or they're trying to sell it off, right? And it's not, like you can see they're just starting to, there's more buyer volume stepping in. So it looks like they want to push it higher. Yes, we're seeing seller wicks, but even in the seller wicks, right, that we're watching, like we're seeing more volume to the buy side. Right, look at this situation right here, right? Boom, and then this one steps in. And this is at the end of that 30-minute candle here. So like, I'm looking at this going, they came in. Yeah, the fact that they didn't put anything here though, but it did come down. If you look at the hour, right? It's one of those things, they're just kind of setting it up to push higher and then to bring it back down. At least what I'm looking at. Trying, they really are. Bulls are trying to make it happen.
Let me go back and check my oh no, it's hanging out. Got three minutes left in the gold market here. Anyway, thanks for everyone that's watching today. We really appreciate it. We've had a good crowd watching us on X. A couple of views on YouTube's, as they say. And Rumble, as always, has been our stalwart the past couple of months. Pedro, good things happening in Rumble next week. And check your X feed. I'm going to put some more social media out about it. But CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, and Tether CEO Paulo Arduino, I don't think I said his last name correct, have been periodically raiding people's channels on Rumble. And they're going to do that again all week next week. And generally what happens when they do it is they bring like 20,000 viewers. And so I've started the lobbying process for Chris to make us one of their victims. So for you viewers out there, I'll be putting some social media out and responding to Chris's tweets. And you guys, I'm going to tell you guys to say, hey, go hammer those tweets, because we would definitely benefit if the head of Tether would bomb our show. It would be excellent. I don't mean on screen talking. I just mean in the chat. And bring in all their viewers.
Dude, did you know? I don't know how full science this is, but when a guy connects with a woman's breasts, his cortisol level drops, all of everything your body releases. I just saw this thing and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
I was like, where did this come from?
Literally, because I just went on X to see that, and then that's the thing that popped up. Because I'm all into science stuff and food and like psychology and stuff like that, and this has to do with cortisol, because I'm always looking at how to drop cortisol and how to keep your body fit and keep yourself chill. And it was sitting there, and it was literally the guy's like, anyways, I just saw it and I was reading through it, going like, that's so interesting. That makes sense though. I gotta admit, like every time I've ever been with my girl or a girl, and like as soon as you see the girls, you're just like, it's so good. Like, sorry, my bad. Totally.
You know what, the micro gold futures contract on Robinhood, it closes. It says it closes at 5 p.m. Which is I don't know why it's different, but it's different than COMEX and the CME. And it's a good thing I didn't take the trade. My theoretical trade is now in the losses.
In the losses. You want to push it up?
When we were talking about that earlier, it was at 50.20 on the Robinhood micro gold futures for I think these are April. Yeah, and now it's at 50.13. 5,013.
The markets are always timing. It's always a timing. People say you can't time the market. Yes, you can. Always go where there potentially could get liquidity so that you can. They're right here, right here. Side note, you know how I was talking about the new, so I've been losing weight, which has really been interesting. This week I lost weight, and I was like, why am I losing weight? Like, it was kind of scary, because when you start to lose weight and you're not doing anything different, the first thing that pops in your head is what?
Cancer.
Yeah. And kind of like, oh shoot, what, then you start to check your body. What's going on, right? Like checking your neck. And then I started realizing, remember I told you at the beginning of the week, or a couple, on Wednesday, that I made that little parfait thing with the Greek yogurt.
Yes.
All right. Sounds silly and all that. You're like, it's fattening. And I was like, yeah, but you don't understand. It's so freaking good. Right. Well, I've had it now a couple times. And I didn't realize, but the bacteria, as well as I'm putting in fruit, which is really good. It has a lot of, there's a lot of fiber and stuff like that in that. And then I'm actually getting fiber cookies, which is really good. I'm actually going to create my own cookies, man, because I juice, and I want to use the pulp to create my own cookies, fiber cookies now. And so as I'm sitting there, like I use some fiber cookies, they taste good too. And they make it all crumbly, right? Gives it the nice little crumble taste. Dude, because all the bacteria, it's creating butyrol in my body. Butyrol helps your body to go after fat utilization. And I was sitting there going like, wait, I'm losing weight because of the bacteria because I'm getting extra bacteria, it's Greek yogurt. And so it's like, ooh, yeah, let's go ahead and we need more energy. And so it's going after the bacteria, or going after the fat. I'm like, oh my goodness, this thing tastes amazing, and it freaking helps me lose weight. Now, it's not a cure-all, and obviously you get too much bacteria in your system, it can throw things off. But I realized like that little cool trick. I was like, that's cool. Actually really cool. There, you guys got it. There's the fat loss thing right there for you. And I was actually stoked. and it tastes so freaking good, bro. I've literally made it 3 times now. and it's like cheap. That's the part that's so crazy. It's like it's really cheap. It's like $2 for the or it's like $2.50 for like this thing of Greek yogurt. And then and I'm thinking about just making my own too, because you can mess with it and add more was it called bacillus? This is the bacteria, exactly. But you can mess with it and create your own, and and make it better and add. And I was thinking about making like honey or what's it called? Maple syrup. Greek yogurt.
Ooh, one of the 4 food groups, maple syrup.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Candy.
That's a good
candy
movie.
canes. Candy corn.
Candy cane.
Maple syrup.
Elf. Not Elf. What is it? Buddy. Why am I forgetting
Buddy, right.
not to be confused with Buddy Holly. Just like Buddy Holly. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore. Anyways, here we go. News. What are we looking at news right now?
What stories did I have?
CZ, I thought was really funny. CZ talked about predicts Bitcoin will enter into a super cycle this year. I think you're right. I think he's absolutely right. I hope he's right. Like I said, we're coming down first at the beginning, right? And so hopefully we start to kind of pick up some momentum here. What is this next one? Bitcoin reclaims 91,000. Binance considers bringing back stock trading. Yep, we already heard that. Here you go. Oh, a $9.
All right.
Inflation is in a 5-year inflation in 5 years will probably be devalued half of everyone's money listed to. I think he's right, but I mean I don't. It's gonna be crazy. Good, we can hold here. 1 hour here is 7 years on Earth. Good, we can hold here. That's funny.
Where was that comment? On Twitter?
No, it's Bitcoin Insights. It's one of the news sources that I have that I look like. It's
well, we all know that crypto time is like space time. The clock ticks ticks differently in crypto land than.
Hey, God, this was it right here. That was funny. 1 hour here is 7 years on Earth. Good, we can hold here. 3-4 years. Are you there for 6 months? Imagine if you were there for 6 months. 1 hour. Dang, that'd be crazy.
I just read the book. You remember the author? I don't remember, but the author of The Martian. His name is Andy Weir. Yeah. He wrote another book called Hail Mary, and it was a similar science-based, but instead of traveling just within our solar system, it was interstellar travel and the science behind it and what goes wrong and the guy trying to survive. Just very similar story, but a different plot. And it had the time dilation in it, in which people were traveling near the speed of light, and one group in the book that understood humans, that understood Einstein's space-time and theory of relativity, knew that even though they were traveling for 13 years, they only experienced it as 3 years. Whereas the other group, I won't tell you who in case you read the book or watch the movie that's coming out, didn't understand that because they didn't understand relativity. Their group, their peoples, didn't know about it. And they couldn't figure out why they got somewhere in 3 years instead of 12 years. And it was an interesting twist into the story and that type of stuff. Your talk of Bitcoin time.
Yes.
Reminded me of that.
Are you guys getting the storm in on Sunday?
It's going to be going south of us here. We're going to get part of it. Right now, they're predicting. Well, it's changing literally every day. They're changing it. But let's see the daily. Let's see. Minus 19 tomorrow and sunny. That's Celsius. Yeah, not much snow on Sunday, and not much. They're still calling it to go south of us, and we'll just get the top of it. And the ski areas here need a big dump to open up all of the other slopes that are not covered in snowmaking. So I wish that thing would blast us, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Well, I've been missing a lot of good comments here. Let's see. Jesus says that movie is good, The Martian. Yeah. Crypto Mike says, because I'm trading you my time right now, I get a 1 on the viewer board, plus a tweet and a Facebook message for all the knowledge and entertainment that's squished into that time. Well, thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
We needs a pump. Should have sold all my alts pre-halving. Yes, you should have. Although if you're DCAing, you'll do fine. Waiting for the super cycle. Yeah, you might wait a long time for the super cycle. And a thumbs up. Almost forgot to do that. Yeah, remember everybody, if you're watching here, give us a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Hey.
That is so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man, that is so good. This guy is brilliant.
Pedro getting entertained here.
I am.
Well, we've had 19 people join us on X today. If you're still watching us on X, share it, repost it. Send this to your list of people. Getting a good viewership on X helps us out a lot. Because then we can send the show to more people, and they follow us. It's one of those good things that can happen, especially on these Fridays.
Dude, this is so good. These comments are great, dude. You watch something and it's funny. Like, you'll watch it, right? And it's like it's a funny thing. But the funnier part is when you read the comments. The comments has you you'll laugh hard. Like, there's this. Remember the one where the guy dresses all white and scares his grandma? That I sent you, right? Did you see that? Did I send that to you?
The guy that dresses in all white and carries his grandma?
No, scares his grandma. You don't remember that?
Is that the grandma that curses all the time?
No. It's this. It was like dude, I gotta find it. It's so funny. Anyways, this is funny because all right, I'm gonna show it here. This is not graphic, but just being honest. All right, so this guy right here, basically viral now. This American influencer is under backlash by her fans for traveling outside the country dressed like that, giving Americans a bad name according to many viewers. Okay, so it's click on it here real quick. Why isn't it going?
Wah, 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 wah.
All right, you got jiggles, right? So she looks. Right?
Got jiggles.
She's got the giggles with the jiggles. All right, so that said, public figure doesn't move in a vacuum. When you profit from visibility culture, awareness matters, especially in places with different norms. Ignoring context can come off as careless, fuel stereotype, and shift. Wait. Who is this? No heterosexual male would complain. What are her social handles? I want to investigate. I know. Lots to be sure. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Were there some sort of words that anyone complaining is how disturbing?
She needs squats. Okay, thank you.
It's like I'm like dying to. Oh, this stuff is so good. She needs squats. Okay, thank you. You appreciate it. How disturbing. What's her at so I can let her know?
Warned you about Fridays, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, like you said, this is always a fun day. Country or county? Looks like she's in some Eastern country, Thailand, Philippines, perhaps. Internet outrage travels faster than common sense. Let people live. The jiggles.
It reminds me, what was that British guy? Jiggle, jiggle. Money doesn't move, it jiggles.
My money doesn't jiggle, jiggle. It moves. Or wiggle. I think it's wiggle, wiggle.
Mike just comes down and says, she looks like that, she can wear whatever she wants. Ding!
It's called trying to go viral.
More cowbell for Mike. Don't. All
right, let's see. There's another one here. Real quick. Can you go check out we can so this is where I'm now looking at, right? So we're seeing the sell-off here come in. Obviously gold close. I thought we were gonna go up because we saw a lot of buy volume coming in on the 5-minute back here. I was like, oh, they're gonna push that up. But I was wrong. But again, I still like doesn't necessarily mean that it's power. Maybe. It's probably gonna come down. You're right. It's probably gonna come down. We didn't take that trade. Hopefully you guys didn't take that trade. I'm almost positive like it was gonna go up. We still got we got 1 hour liquidity area right here sitting right below. I'm still not opposed to this moving still higher. You've got liquidity sitting right here, so this could come in, get liquidity, and then push back up. It's still got 15 minutes, which I've seen many times change a whole entire trade. Where I'm like, this thing, freaking A, I'm out. And then it hits a liquidity area, and I'm like, dang it, should have held on it. So we'll see what happens here. You got a nice little play right there, and we'll find out. But I've got to find this because it is so good. I think it's on Instagram. Give me a second. It's Instagram. It is so good. It's wrong. I'm just saying. I know this is wrong. Absolutely, do not disagree. It's absolutely.
All right. While Pedro's looking for that, I'm going to show a news article as the warehouse in here.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Pedro. You go. You're on a roll.
All right, check it out. This is so wrong. It's so good though. All right, gotta make sure I don't. Oh shoot, I can't. Let me add. Just send me to him because I have all my friends here. I don't want anybody to get stalked. Why won't you let me just go to the actual original?
I just had to. Pedro, your internet connection died there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Putin calculates a price for Greenland, referencing the Alaska purchase. Based on Alaska, Greenland would be 200 to 250 million. Calculated in gold, that's probably
Lord of
close to $1
mercy.
billion.
You guys hear me? No.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy.
Yeah, Putin's still pissed that they sold Alaska. And if you recall, a while ago, he was trying to say how it wasn't even legal, and that he was trying to set the stage for claiming that the previous government didn't have the authority to sell it. So technically, he still claims it. The United States immediately moved a whole bunch of its nuclear bombers up to Alaska and said, "Go on, give it a shot." Give it a shot. Putin hasn't mentioned it since then. I thought this would be. There's an interesting. Well, why isn't that scrolling? No, that's. Russian President Vladimir Putin weighed on international stuff surrounding Greenland by drawing historical comparisons to the United States' 19th century purchase of Alaska, calculating a similar territorial acquisition might look like today, stressing that the issue does not concern Russia. Putin referenced the 1867 sale of Alaska when the Russian Empire transferred the territory to the U.S. We have Alaska.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Pedro.
All right, look, I'm just going to send this to you because, and you got to go through and read the comments because it's gold. Actually, check on your Instagram feed and see if I sent it to you.
Oh, all right.
Like, or me, when
I
check
know
your
what you mean.
Instagram. Yeah.
All right, doing that right now.
It's so good. It's good. It's good. Good.
I don't know how long it would have been.
Would have been maybe a month ago.
What would I be looking for?
It's a guy and he's like this.
Hold on, I can't see it. Now I see you.
He's like this, and he's dressed in kind of some white with brown hair, and he basically puts the.
Is he putting a liquid in his hand?
Yeah. And then he puts it's white, and he puts it on. Yeah, he puts it on his face, and then
right,
watch it. When you watch it, then go to the comments because they are.
All right,
I literally. What's up?
Hey, hold on. I'll bring it up here on the screen for people.
Yeah, I literally laughed for 30 minutes. I had to put my phone away because I couldn't breathe. I heard my stomach was sore for like 2 days because that's how hard I laughed.
All right, hold on. I'll bring it up and just.
Oh,
it's so cruel. Hold on, I gotta.
It's so cruel.
It's not letting me.
It's so bad, dude. So wrong.
Yeah, one second, ladies. I'm just pulling this up. It's playing and.
So good.
Boom.
I can't see it. It's not on the screen. Okay, zoom in on it. You gotta zoom in on it because if you don't, you can't see it.
Boom.
Oh, this is cruel. The other girl shuts the door on Grandma. That's those Inca gods coming to get Jesus' relatives there. That's what I think it is. 'Cause closing the door is diabolical. We're all going to hell for laughing. My chest hurts so bad from laughing at us. That lady ain't shit for closing the door on Grandma. She sacrificed Grandma to save her own life. We'll all meet at the gates of fire at 6 p.m. for laughing at this. Tears, I can't breathe. I'm a bad person, very bad person. I laughed and still laugh. I can't stop it. She closed the door and that's crazy work.
Oh.
Yeah, Grandma could have had a heart attack. He going straight to hell for scaring Grandma.
It's like the worst part is how slow she was literally getting. She's like, ah! It's like 2 inches at a time. And she's trying to open up the door. I've seen that probably 20 times and I'm still Oh,
Pedro.
Yes, there is a song.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday on DYOR Live.
Of all the serious talk we've had this week, me ranting. There you go.
Crypto Mike asks a question. When you buy a future and let it expire, you get that commodity or said gold, right? No, not on the modern markets. You have to mark it. When you buy it, you have to mark it for delivery on the order. And then if you let it expire, it will be delivered. But the default contracts are speculation contracts, and you don't get delivery on them. If you let them expire, they're worthless, and you lose your money.
Yes.
Jesus, yes, we saw Macron with his. I thought he was trying to be Joe Biden up there. I was like, was he making fun of Joe? I thought Trump for sure was going to joke that Macron looked like Sleepy Joe up there. I don't know why he was wearing his shades. He looked like an idiot. I mean, he really did.
Yeah. I mean, the memes online are epic. So
Jesus says, now I know why you're losing weight, Pedro. All that laughing, you're burning up the calories.
Oh man, it was good. I've actually slacked off at the gym for the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna get back into it. But yeah, man. Ooh, I'm putting up some weight now, which is nice. I started doing the sled, and there's a warning sign on the sled that says this may cause flu-like symptoms, which is called plow sickness. You may experience dizziness, nauseation, headaches, and you may even pass out. Please consult your doctor before using this device. I saw that. I was like, this is my torture device. I was like, this is my cross. And since then, it's like basically doing a bunch of squats, like doing tons of squats as you sprint. And so you have literally, you throw on like 300 pounds, 400 pounds, so you got to push it. And so you're using everything. It's a full body work. It's shoulders, chest, legs, quads, calves, and you're sprinting to push this weight. And you feel your whole entire body is just burning. It's a phenomenal torture machine. And I'm at the gym, and I gotta admit, I started messing with it, but I have to get back in there and pick up that cross.
I did one that tortured me when I was rehabilitating my shoulder after I broke it skiing, and it was the physical therapist had a regular 45-pound weight bar, but it was latched in the corner of the room, and you put weights on this end of it, and you picked up the bar, like a 45-pound weight on it, and it was on the ground, and you had to pick up the bar and lift it over your head. And so it engaged, everything from bending over to stretching up like that. And you do that a bunch of times, and you feel like God hates you. You're like, who? You start thinking about what maybe you had an after or a previous life, and you were a bad person. And like every muscle in your body's exploding in pain, especially the ones that are rehabilitating. And you're like, hey, is this right? Is this supposed to hurt? This guy's like, your whole body's supposed to hurt. I'm like, that's working.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right, and it didn't involve the pushing too, but it's just the whole body lifting. You get the squats, you get to this, you get the
everything,
and then that, and then you're like, fuck, and then you got to put it down. You're like, oh.
Yo, so this is what I started doing. I can't hear you, Tom. I can't hear you.
Check. 1 2 1 2.
Oh, there you are. So, 2 weeks ago, I got to the point where, like I said, I've been going to the gym now for about 6 months, 7 months consistently, right? Going in and out. And I'm really trying to bulk because I had lost a lot of weight. I got down to 240, 235. And I felt like I lost a lot of strength. So I started eating again, but I started really kind of putting on muscle. And then like this year, I plan on, lose muscle or lose fat, gain muscle, kind of like this things. I didn't want to lose it so quick like I did last year. And so I ended up going through, and so I started doing the sled thing. It's phenomenal. I got to the point where, okay, I'm doing good with it. It doesn't work me as hard, but it still works me. So literally I would grab a kettlebell, like the 40, I started with like 30 pounds, but I'm up to about 45, 50 pounds. And I lift it like you said. I squat, I have to pick it up with one arm. I go like this, and then I lift it like this, man. And it is so painful. Like, so I do the plow, and then I come with like 20 seconds, boom, and do that. And by the end of it, and I try to do about 5 to 10 of them before I work like my.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I just saw you point at something, so that's.
Oh, it's point. Hey, Seuss asked a question. I was answering it to him while you were talking by just pointing.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm at a point where I'm pretty agile now. I'm pretty quick and pretty strong, but those things are painful, man. From just picking it, something that's heavy up, then I'll pick it up, boom, squat, and then lift from the squat, push this thing over my head, and then bring it down and squat again and put it back down and lift it with the other hand. And I have to admit, I'm like, this is real. Like this, like you see those guys who you've seen me pictures of me when I'm young, right? And I'm pretty yoked up, really in shape. But I wouldn't say that I could do a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. Back then in my younger years, I'm not that I couldn't do it, but it would just be it'd be difficult because it's just I was more physique muscle versus actual practical muscle. I have to admit,
right.
The practical muscle, being able to move, and it's just so important. I feel like, But I mean, I also did ballet, so I don't know. I could lift girls, so I don't know. Maybe I just never didn't have those gym torture machines back then, so I don't know. Maybe I could have.
Pedro, I've got the strategy chart up here, or their average stuff right here, and I don't understand something on it. Jesus brought this up, and I couldn't answer it. They own 709,000 Bitcoiners here, and it says an average cost of 75,900, but it says an ACQ cost, which I would say is acquisition cost of 53,924. Do you have any idea what the difference between these numbers is? I mean, wouldn't an average cost be what they acquired it at? I don't know what this means.
No, I don't know. Do you have what do you call? Do you have Copilot on your? What do you use? Bing. What do you use for your browser?
Brave.
All right. So I think Brave also has a AI system that you can just click on it and it look at your picture. Type in what is the difference between here and here, and Brave will be like, well, and it should let you know. I do that a lot.
Let's see if they can figure it out. I don't see any information about blah, blah, blah. I can't read the page properly.
Maybe screenshot it and put it into the AI and see if it will be able to read it.
Yeah, I'll just do that and send it to Grok.
Yeah. How are we doing on hours, by the way?
We're getting there. I've got a plan together to get us all.
We literally have 10 more. No, there's 31 days in January, right? Yeah. So we have literally 8 more days. We do, we've done a couple night shows, so we could do a couple more night shows and then maybe do.
We need 4 premium hours still.
Right.
After this show, we'll have 7 more hours needed, I think. Or 8 more hours needed. And so we need to do half of them in premium.
Yeah.
Or we can do more, and we can if we.
Can't hear you.
I'm typing.
Oh, fine. I can't see you much because I'm basically flying blind here.
All right, 1 second here. See what Grok has to say about this. No response from Grok. Grok was unable to finish replying. All right, neither one liked Analyzing Strategies books. Retry 3. Grok was unable to do anything. 2 AIs both failed, so something's up with the AI world. We'll pass on that right now.
That's interesting. Because normally, go to OpenAI.
Nah, I'm not. That I gave it two shots at it. That's enough. We'll wait for Grok to come back online. BlackRock's Larry Fink says wants the entire financial system on one common blockchain. Guess whose blockchain he wants it on? His.
Mm-hmm.
Right, his. He wants everyone on their Onyx system. It makes sense. I mean, it would be great to have everything on one blockchain, but I don't think that's practical. I think.
What about if it gets hacked?
I think they need to make it so they can evolve different blockchains to ensure they don't get, bad things where like the Ethereum blockchain has to suffer from these MEV bots and front running and that type of stuff. They need, they didn't anticipate that at the beginning, so they got to make sure that if they were to switch to a common blockchain, it's got to be something they can fork every 10 minutes.
Most people like to fork every 10 minutes.
They like to fork for at least 10 minutes. Donald Trump sues J.P. Morgan in Florida court for $5 billion over debanking claims. This is a topic that's come up a lot. And as I've said, everyone says, oh, the politicians are always in bed with the banks. Not Mr. Trump. He's been at war with the banks pretty much his entire career, because Trump goes in and says, oh, I need a loan for $5 billion. to build this building, and the bank says, "Oh, your credit's only good for $400 million," and he's like, "Oh, you're lying, you guys are scammers," and that kind of stuff. They're like, "No, we're looking at the data here," and then Trump provides them other data, and we've seen this end up in court in public, where Trump's valuations of his stuff doesn't match what the bank's valuations are, or what they submit to the government for taxes, and that type of stuff. So he's never had a great relationship with banks. They for sure have helped him out over time. But the banks haven't done what Mr. Trump has always wanted. He usually gets his way, not with the banks when they're loaning money and they could go bankrupt. So he's always had a love-hate relationship with them. The president recently filed a lawsuit. They threatened to and then did for debanking him after the January 6th issue in 2021. And he said he's not only suing on behalf of himself and his companies, he's suing on behalf of a lot of the people that got debanked on January 6th. Found that to be very interesting. In Florida, there is a better chance than not that he's going to win that, or that JP Morgan will just settle. Say, all right, how about we just give you $1 billion line of credit? Use it however you want. Trump will be like, okay, thank you very much. I wish I could do a good Trump. I'm just not practiced at it. I listen to Steve Crowder. Steve Crowder rips him off really well, and they're just epic. And and they're so funny.
You can do a good. You can do a great thing. From what's that show? Come on, what is up? Like, I don't understand why this thing is not wanting to work. Makes no sense to me.
It's got to be in your computer with it, because since it all of a sudden just drops the connection, it's probably not seeing your gateway for some reason. You probably have two Ethernet connections fighting in your adapter section. You might have two that are fighting for the gateway, and you might have an option saying don't share, give exclusive access, or something like that. You might have an old VPN. A lot of times when you put VPNs in, they put something in your network adapter section as a virtual adapter. A lot of times when you uninstall them, it doesn't uninstall them all the way.
I got you. Yeah.
And so in your network connections section, you should have Wi-Fi. If your computer has a Wi-Fi unit, doesn't mean it's on. It can say disabled. You should have the Ethernet. You should have a WAN. I can't remember the name of it, but it's kind of a Windows thing. And if you have a VPN, the VPN will put an Ethernet adapter in there, a virtual Ethernet adapter. Certain ones will, not all of them. And sometimes those get left over, and they think they need to be enabled, and it'll try and take your connection. And Pedro is gone. He's not listening to me because he is gone. Coming back.
No,
he's back.
I was.
Now he's back.
I'm probably gonna get going here, right? Just because it's Friday.
It's Friday. I have the house to myself right now. It's Pedro.
Really?
Last night, the in-laws are in town, and as many of you viewers know, I have a very close relationship with the in-laws. They live in Toronto, and we go to Toronto a lot. I do a lot of shows from Toronto. They come here a lot. My father-in-law is recently retired, but still has a lot. He's a developer, still finishing it. It will take him a year to probably finish up all his last projects he's working on. But he still has time, so they come here for a birthday. And last night we had a birthday dinner down at the club we belong to here in Ottawa. Had delicious steaks and all that type of stuff. Celebration for birthday. Everything was great. And today that whole crew went out to do errands, shopping, and some other things. And so it's a Friday. I have the studio to myself. You may have heard them at the beginning on little stuff in the background, but they have left. And I think I'm going to have myself a nice Friday nap.
It's like Sunday naps. They're the best.
Just it's especially just lay down on the couch, just like the dog will come over, lay next to you, and you just like, and then you're out. And it just, back in the day, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna head down to the pub over here. There's a great Irish pub, literally 1 second from my front door. And like, go have a pint, blah blah blah, yada yada. And now I'm like, nap.
You're getting older when you're excited about a nap. You know what though? I had this girlfriend who used to love cuddling, love it. And she would literally like set up like a full Friday afternoon just to like veg out and cuddle with me. And I was just like, I was like, look, I like you a lot. I think you're pretty cool. No. Well, yeah, but I mean,
that's what cuddle in my book means.
Right. But I mean, I like Friday. I love like on Friday going down to the beach. Like back in the day, this is when I was in Seattle, especially during the summertime, going down to the beach and just sitting and just like frolicking. Yes, I use the word frolicking in the sand. And because I don't know, I feel like it recharges me, whereas like for her love language was like super touch. And I think mine was more like action or something like that. And I've always felt bad because I was like, look, I'm cool with this, but let's first go to the beach. Let's go out. Let's do something so I can like do things. And then like, all I need is an hour or two. And then we can come and cuddle and hang out. And I'm cool with that. And she's like, okay, right? But it would be one of those, I'd feel bad because I felt like I was being selfish. But like, we would cuddle for like, and I would always end up falling asleep, and then I wouldn't sleep that night. My cells would regenerate real quick, so I'd be up all night.
I do see your problem there, Pedro. I do see that problem. That's why they make whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Whiskey makes me want to go. Makes me want to go out. It's like when I smoke weed. When I used to smoke weed back in the day, right? And like, I'd want to go for a crazy run. I'd be like, let's go for a run. Like you could like work out for days, or I'd want to go swimming, bro. Whenever I smoke weed, because it made the water feel so just dope on your skin. So like, and I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Most people like to chill. When I chill, I like to do things. I like to go out and do things. And unless I'm tired, then I'm like, if it's been a long week or something like that, I'm cool. I'm like, let's get out of here. If it's a long week and hard week, I'll cuddle. I'll hang out. I'll take a nap. But
I got coke. What's that? Tell me.
Oh no, I was gonna say, since I've noticed, and as I get older, right, I started, I like taking naps. I don't disagree with you. Boom. And then, though, since I started mixing the methylene blue with the spirulina and the magnesium malate, dog. Oh, and then I throw in ginger water with a little bit of cayenne. Dude, it's like a shot of like Red Bull with 3 espresso shots. And it's so good, bro. It's like, it doesn't taste good, but it's like a sour, gooey mix that has a metallic taste. But dude, I go outside and it like recharges me. Like I literally feel like I just woke up, had a great night's sleep.
Who's this guy, Ryan Wedding? FBI announces Ryan Wedding's arrest in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yep. I don't know who Ryan is. I saw that too.
Anyway, I got an answer for this, Jesus, for average BTC cost versus acquisition cost, and it doesn't really clear it up that much because it doesn't make great sense to me. Average cost is the average cost per coin, and the acquisition cost is the total amount of each time he bought all added up. And to me, it should be somewhat equal. It's not. A good example. Good example. On this last Sunday, he bought $2.1 billion worth at an average price of $95,000. And then all these acquisition costs add up to spent $53 billion on it. Now, Pedro, go ahead.
So your average cost, right, would not necessarily be, the average cost doesn't necessarily mean that it's accumulating for each coin, right? It's just like, okay, my average cost was $20, right, on one buy. So they take the not the percentage, the price itself, right? Not them as many coins, but just literally the pure price itself. And then they average the price. Now your coin, if he bought, let's say, 100 or 65,000 at this price, he bought 65,000 up here, he bought 70,000 up here, right? Well, his average coin cost is going to be more up here versus the average cost of the actual price. They're two
right,
separate
I see
things.
what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of more like a weighted average.
Yeah, weighted average versus a
mean or something
price
like that.
average. Yeah, the mean, exactly. Yep.
Oh, this 53 billion looks a lot better than 75 billion in kind of the safety and security for Mr. Bitcoin.
Yeah, he's kind of he's going all in. I do have to admit, like, he's screwed. If the banks decide to step away from Bitcoin, he's screwed. Because I think Bitcoin will come back. Like with Larry Fink's ideology of a one central blockchain, I don't see crypto natives adopting that. I think you'll always have DeFi. I think unless they get rid of or they ban it and don't allow it. But even then, like, it was banned already prior and we were still messing with it. So it's like one of those things that, like, you're not going to get rid of it. And that's what he's almost trying to do, right? He's trying to get the regular populace. And he's right. It is more efficient. It is going to win. And if Larry Fink's system, what's up?
Both Mike and Jesus are like, none of that made any sense to us.
Oh, about the, okay. All right. So look at it like this. You buy a bunch of beer, okay? And the first set of beer, because you're going to have a massive barbecue, all right? Your boys are going to come over for the military. Your sales clients are going to come over and y'all are going to party, okay? So, first time you go, right, on Monday you go, and you buy, 20 cases of a 24 pack, okay, for $20, right? So you could calculate all of those beers, right? So that's Monday. Then Tuesday, you buy, and instead of being $20, it's $25 for 20 cases of a 24 pack. Okay, then on Thursday, you buy it again. Now, you've bought it 3 times. Your average price per buy, right? You're not calculating all the beers in the cases. You're just calculating the pricing. So one was 20, one was 25, and one was, let's say, $22. So your average right there is going to be $22 or $21 average pricing of, or maybe $23. $23 average price that you spent. Okay. Now, what we could calculate next is what was the average price per beer. Okay. So now with that said, you would have to do the calculations with adding, or you would divide the beer by the actual pricing, which would give you the mean of each beer. That's what they're doing. That's the difference. One is the average price of everything bundled all together. The other price is literally per beer.
All
Makes
right.
sense?
What's Corona?
Corona.
Cost average value. All right, Pedro, I was seeing who to raid, for the show today, and I picked this other channel, and this is what's going on here. Dude's just sleeping.
Hey, let me see him. I don't see him.
Hold on, I gotta move the footer here. Where's the footer?
That's funny, dude.
Dude's just sleeping. Just fell asleep on stream. Just this is what we're
How many
competing
people are
against.
watching him?
I believe one, and that would be me.
This reminds me of?
Dude's just sleeping.
You zoom in on him, take a picture of him, blow him up.
I'm not sure I can here with everything I got going on here.
All right, no, don't worry about it. The reason why is it reminds me of how Caesar used to go through, and he would literally sleep in the telegram room. And people would come, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Right? But he literally would spend almost 24 hours, 7 days a week. And he did that for a few months. And then it just started growing, right? Like exponentially. And then during 2020, right, during the bull run, he was charging $3,000, $5,000 for an AMA. And remember this? Dude, and he would have
remember.
7 to 10 AMAs. 30 minutes to an hour, and he'd do them for like 9 hours, 10 hours. The guy became wealthy. I mean, wealthy. I think he made like $100 million because also he would buy the coins. And then he would sell the coins as well. So he would make a big profit. And when they would go on Caesar's calls, I mean, dude, the majority of them would hit at least 10. He'd 10x. 10 to 20x. Some of those dudes did 1,000x. Some of those did 10,000x. It was crazy. And so he would definitely sell. So he became, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but I know he's worth at least a couple $100 million. Easy. Just because he had so much money coming in. And then him and then Maurice, Caesar started going crazy. But I wonder if that's Caesar, because he got kicked out of Caesar's calls. Caesar himself, and then now Maurice runs it all. And Maurice is cool, right? But those were the days where those guys made so much money. It was...
It was crazy. The people would just pay it. They'd be like, you guy would be like, all right, you gotta send 10 BNB, and or 25 BNB, whatever. And people are like, they knew that if their shit pumped, they'd have hundreds of BNB. So they're like, okay, send it.
Yep.
And I would look at the prices of that and be like, God damn.
Yeah, it was real. It was real. And the money that they would make, if they did send, was well worth it. I mean, just in the fees. And back then, you could charge 10, 20% fees on because you were getting X's. Like you'd get in on a program, right? You'd get in, 25% entry, 25% exit. And then all of a sudden, right, you wanted to get out. And, and you're like, okay, I've made 10x. I'm good. Right. And your fee was basically, 50% of the original cost. And like you've got in, let's say, going $1,000 and you put $250 towards the whole entire thing. But that 1,000 did a $10,000 move, right? So that $250 wasn't anything.
You're right, Pedro. And Crypto Mike, you're right too, that they made all kinds of money back then. Pedro, that's the end of the show here. That's all we got for you guys today. Hours and hours of just fun and edutainment today. We're going to raid somebody here. I haven't been able to listen to the guy, but he seems like he's live. It's called Future Forecasters. As always, please participate in the raid. And all you got to do is just make one comment, and then the great engagement machine gives us credit for participating in the raids that we're supposed to do a couple of times a month. In fact, 5 times. And if we do a few extras, apparently we get extra credit. Jesus, thanks for saying it's a good show. We appreciate the feedback as always. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Always so informative, even about the Incas. Remember, my great uncle is Hiram Bingham, who was the Westerner that discovered where people are already living. And so I do have a good connection to your home place of Peru. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. It's going to say raid on your thing right now. I'm going to confirm it. And we're off for the weekend. You might see us on this weekend doing a premium show or something like that, or you might even just see me pop on for an hour. Might even be a replay of another show. But if you see us, no matter what it is, come around and drop a comment so the engagement machine knows all is going on. Anyway, here's the raid. We're off. And don't click opt out. Click opt in. We're going to opt in and raid this guy's channel.
Rotation is about to begin. I mentioned earlier.
And for the rest of you, we will see you later. I love this part. Kaboom!
And then they got targeted not too long after. It was kind of mixed. We had really high hopes for it and lots of positive news in our crypto mastermind session, but the remote viewing session had some questions. They showed that it might struggle to kind of gain traction. If you think